In our fast-paced modern lifestyle, the surge in demand for ready-to-drink, or RTD, and instant coffee and tea products is undeniable, offering convenience for consumers on the go. A fascinating development has emerged over the last few years, the rise of the premium market. Discerning consumers seek not only convenience, but a heightened sensory experience and health benefits. This shift has paved the way for a market that knows what they want, and they are chasing not only natural flavours, but they're looking for products that can provide the health benefits and can be consumed when and where they want. In this environment, Flavourtech, an Australian technology manufacturer specialising in food and beverage industry, plays a pivotal role. As a provider of cutting-edge solutions, we have been providing our customers a competitive advantage in differentiating their products in the marketplace and becoming market leaders. Welcome everyone to today's exciting webinar. My name's Leon Scaliotis and I'm the General Manager and Chairman of Flavourtech. Accompanying me today in this webinar is Paul Arn, our Global Sales Manager, and together we will be bringing you a little bit of knowledge about Flavourtech, who we are, where we can be found, a little bit about our technologies, but also providing solutions for the beverage market, not only in RTD, but also in soluble coffee and tea, and providing some of the benefits that those solutions offer. So let's begin with talking about Flavourtech, who we are, where we can be found, and what we do. Flavourtech is an Australian company based in the town of Griffith, New South Wales, who design, manufacture, process technology for thin film distillation, evaporation and extraction. The town of Griffith is situated approximately 650 kilometres west of Sydney and is best known for some of its wine exports, including the wine Yellowtail, made by Casella family brands. It is also where 40% of Australia's grapes are produced, almost 40% of Australia's citrus, and is one of the major food bowls of Australia. Here we have our head office, manufacturing and pilot plant. In our manufacturing plant in Griffith, we produce innovative engineering solutions using our spinning cone technologies. But this is not the only thing that makes a difference for our customers. It's also the expertise of our engineers that assist our customers get the very best out of their products. Our focus of using spinning cones allows us to create a very thin film of 1 millimeter or less of the liquid going through our technologies, allowing short residence times and low temperatures to be used. And this equates to quality. This allows us to capture the very best natural aromas, but also to make the very best concentrates. For example, as you'll learn later, our evaporator only has 1 second heat contact time on the product, making sure that there's no color change and minimal losses of any valuable aroma compounds. Our goal is very simply to improve our customers' business, and we see that validated year after year by customers coming back to us and purchasing more equipment as their business grows, because our technology allows them to differentiate their products. Although our head office is in Australia, we export over 90% of our products around the world, so it's only right that we have offices and people around the world to more easily work with our customers. If customers want to try our equipment, we do have pilot plant and offices in the Netherlands, in the US and in Australia, and of course we have distributors and agents all around the world to make it easy and convenient for customers to contact us, but also to support our customers in those faraway countries. Of course, Flavourtech have been award winners for a number of years, but 2 special awards that I'd like to mention is the Export Award for the category of manufacturing, which we won in 2018, and that was a national award for all of Australia, which we're very proud of. But also back in 2022, we won the Premier's Export Awards from the Export Council of Australia as Regional Exporter of the Year, something that the whole team is proud of. A special mention should be made not just for tea and coffee, but some of the other industries that we deal with. As you can see from this slide, Flavourtech focus on 6 key industries. By far the most important to us is the coffee and tea industry, where over 50% of our business lies. In the dairy industry, we help our customers standardize their cream and milk products by being able to remove undesirable flavors, but also allows them with our other technology to concentrate milk protein concentrates and whey protein concentrates. In the alcoholic beverage industry, where we were pioneers 40 years ago and is still a large part of our business, especially these days, we help our customers make award-winning zero and low alcohol wines and beers. In the pharmaceutical industry, our Centrotherm evaporator is a key part of the process to retain not only color but active ingredients in herbal extracts and pharmaceutical products. And in the flavor industry, we're utilized around the world to capture the best natural aromas from fruit and vegetable products for use in the food industry. But before we go on, let's very briefly look at the Flavourtech technologies.
But Leon, let's turn the camera off so we don't distract the viewers.
Good idea, Paul. Our core technology is a Flavourtech spinning cone column, or SEC, which is a thin film spinning cone distillation column, or more correctly, a steam stripping column, which uses steam in a counter-current process to the product to capture the volatiles from that product. It is used not just in the coffee and tea industry, but in the flavor and fruit industry worldwide, as well as in the wine and beer industry to remove alcohol from wine and beer while retaining all the natural flavors. As you can see from the illustration on the left, the internals of the spinning cone column are comprised of a central shaft with attached spinning cones and stationary cones that come out from the wall of the column. The product, shown here in red, enters the column at the top, runs down the first stationary cone, creating this thin film, which falls onto the spinning cone below. The centrifugal force then sends it up, it hits the wall, falls on the stationary cone below, and this continues from the top to the bottom of the column. In the opposite direction, we have steam going up the column, mixing with the product and picking up all the important volatiles. This steam vapor then exits the column, going through a condenser to create a very clear liquid aroma that can be used further on in the process. The unique capabilities of the spinning cone column is that it can not only process clear liquids, but also purees and slurries. The photo on the right shows green tea slurry that has been processed through the spinning cone column. So what you see there has the desirable aromas removed. This slurry would then go through a decanter and centrifuge to be clarified to create a premium extract. The spinning cone column for tea and coffee, especially for ready-to-drink products, can also not only capture the aroma, but can also brew the product in that 30 seconds that it takes to go through the column, making it very unique. The various parameters that are available on the spinning cone column also allow various flavors to be captured or various temperatures to be used to capture the very best aromas from the product that you are processing. As mentioned previously, Flavourtech's core business is in the tea and coffee industry, and for over 35 years we have been helping our customers produce the very best aroma from their process to be added to their final product. We now have over 100 spinning cone columns that are utilized to capture coffee aroma around the world, and over 70 spinning cone columns being utilized to make ready-to-drink tea products. So Paul, I think I've been talking too much. Maybe you should do a little bit of talking. Can you tell us a little bit about our Centrotherm evaporator?
Yeah, thanks Mr. Leon. The other core product in our range utilizes thin film as well with spinning cones, but it's called the Centrotherm evaporator. This system is engineered to minimize product contact time to only 1 second, all while operating at low temperatures. These unique features makes it an unparalleled solution across various industries. Ideal for the concentration of delicate and heat-sensitive products. This evaporator ensures that the integrity of the products is preserved during the evaporation process. Its capabilities to handle viscous products adds to the versatility, providing a solution for a wide range of substances. It is suitable for the concentration high-value products, particularly in small batches or as final evaporation stage where the products become more sensitive as viscosity increases. It also excels in solvent removal, offering a comprehensive solution for industries requiring efficient and precise evaporation techniques. One of its defining features of the Centrotherm is the incredibly short residence time of just 1 second, setting it apart from conventional methods, which is much higher temperatures and much longer residence times. Unlike other evaporation processes, the Centrotherm's swift 1 second residence time is a standout. In the case with coffee extracts, this rapid evaporation ensures that the coffee extract undergoes minimal exposure to heat, preventing any damage to its delicate composition. The low operating temperatures further contribute to the gentle treatment, preserving the integrity of the extract.
I suppose, Paul, what we should also point out is that the Centrotherm evaporator is a very compact system and it's available in various sizes. This unit here that we have on the slide is our CT9 evaporator. It's about 3.5 meters tall, about 6 meters long, and it can evaporate up to 2.5 tons of water per hour. It's ideal to be used as a finisher in the coffee industry and take that concentrate from your traditional evaporator up further without any damage to color or flavor.
That's correct, Leon. It's very versatile indeed, and there are various sizes to choose from.
Thanks, Paul. I'll take the next one, which is the rotating disc column, or the RDC as we call it. Now, this particular technology was developed by Flavourtech specifically for the coffee industry, and that'll become apparent as we move through the presentation. But it's a solid liquid contacted column that allows a solid and liquid to be processed, as I just mentioned. So in terms of ground coffee and water, it can be processed through the system where we can go up to temperatures of 190 degrees, pressures of almost 20 bar, and of course control the flow to do the solubilization of coffee as required to meet various yields. The beauty of this is it's a continuous process. It's not a batch process or a semi-batch process. It's a continuous process, and it allows a solubilization of coffee in only 20 minutes.
Thanks, Leon. Moving on to our next technology. Now, Flavourtech is known for its gentle yet effective extraction and evaporation systems, but we have joined forces with Aquaporin with an exclusive distributorship agreement. This strategic alliance focuses on introducing their forward osmosis or FO products specifically tailored for the concentration of coffee and tea aroma, cold brew coffee and tea, extract concentration, as well as aqueous aroma concentration. Unlike traditional methods, FO operates at low temperatures and pressures. This low temperature operation of forward osmosis ensures that the delicate flavors and aromas of coffee are preserved during the concentration. This is especially crucial for the production of cold brew coffee or tea, where maintaining the integrity of the product's essence is paramount. Traditional methods of concentration can lead to flavor degradation and loss of aromatic compounds. The FO's ability to work efficiently at low temperatures addresses this concern, resulting in a superior and more authentic cold brew coffee or tea.
So, Paul, just before we go on, I'm very familiar with RO or reverse osmosis, and forward osmosis is quite new to me, and I'm sure it's quite new to a lot of the viewers out there. Can you just take a moment and explain the difference and the benefits of forward osmosis compared to reverse osmosis?
Reverse osmosis has been around for a long time now. Everybody knows about RO. It relies on hydraulic pressure, where water is forced through a membrane due to pressure. But with any pressure, it does force small molecules to pass through the membrane as well as generate heat. Forward osmosis, on the other hand, relies on a salt gradient. So water traverses the membrane to dilute that salt on the other side of the membrane, which means that there's no heat buildup at all, and also only water passes through the membrane. The unique benefit of this particular Aquaporin forward osmosis system is the actual protein used to allow the water to traverse the membrane. Aquaporin proteins, which are found naturally in cells, were discovered in the 1990s, and the person who discovered it won a Nobel Prize for it. Aquaporin in Denmark were able to synthesize this and allow only water, selectively water only, to traverse the membrane compared to other forward osmosis systems. Integrating the spinning cone column as the front end to the forward osmosis system allows the concentration of aqueous aroma, cold brew coffee and tea. The SEC, known for its efficiency in preserving delicate flavors, operates as a first step to the forward osmosis system, enhancing the overall quality of the final product. By leveraging the SEC's capabilities, producers can ensure more authentic and vibrant aromatic profile in their final beverages. Forward osmosis, known for its low temperature operation and minimal energy requirements, complements the SEC's gentle extraction by utilizing osmotic pressure.
Thanks, Paul. I think that explains FO to me and some of the benefits to it. So let's move on to some of these coffee and tea trends, which is really what's driving a lot of people's beverage business. Consumers are wanting more, as we mentioned, and they're looking at different ways to get their caffeine hit from coffee or tea at home or when they're traveling or at the restaurant. So let's see some of the different things that we're seeing out there. So in the travels around the world, I'm seeing various products come out. Of course, the Asian market has been dealing with bottled and canned coffee and tea products for many years, but we're now seeing that expand worldwide. I've seen canned coffee in Australia, Europe, US. It's happening everywhere, but people are wanting better quality products. I'm also seeing a growth in liquid tea and coffee concentrates, and lately that's been appearing on the shelf in supermarkets. That's not just for commercial drinking, but it's for taking home and actually producing something at home that you can drink on the go. Pods or capsules containing grounds have been around now for the last 5 to 10 years, but we're starting to see pods or capsules with liquid concentrate in them to produce a more authentic or more natural flavor. We're also seeing, the tea bags have been around for decades, but we're also seeing coffee bags for consumers on the go. And I know I personally take coffee bags along because, sometimes the coffee in the hotel room is not always to my liking. So taking something that I'm familiar with, that's easy to dispose of, those coffee bags, really make my day or make my morning, when I'm traveling. 3-in-1 sachets, 4-in-1 sachets. I've even seen 7-in-1 sachets in some countries. Producers are trying to capture the market with better quality sachets that can be consumed on the go, or again can be taken when consumers are traveling. And of course, we've seen a plethora of homebrew systems take off, where people have a homebrew system at home to get their caffeine hits. So manufacturers of all of these products, face various difficulties, especially for RTD, especially for soluble coffee and tea products, because, aroma is paramount to producing a product that is liked by consumers, especially these days where consumers know a lot about coffee, they know a lot about tea, they know, all about single origin flavors, they know all about single estate tea flavors. And, they want something that's authentic, original, and they like, consumers no longer just want a tea product. They want a particular type of tea. They no longer want just something that's brown and smells vaguely of coffee. They want that Ethiopian or Guatemalan coffee flavor to come out. So let's see some of those difficulties that tea and coffee manufacturers are facing and how to overcome them.
Yes, Leon, I agree with you. I've seen so many different varieties of coffees and teas when I go to those stores, and it's quite a good option to have. Now, let's look at what the difficulties are. So for nearly a century, the production of RTD and soluble or instant coffee has adhered to traditional methods, witnessing incremental changes in automation and scale. However, the fundamental principles remained largely untouched until the advent of Flavourtech's integrated extraction system. Now, the IES has revolutionized this approach by capturing the natural essence of the feed material up front. This breakthrough meant that the flavors inherent in the coffee or tea were preserved and enhanced throughout the entire production process, creating a product with the original aroma intact. The IES represents a gentle process, ensuring that the final product maintains the integrity of the original flavor profile. Now, let's take a look at the IES itself. First of all, let's look at the IES approach to RTD coffee and tea. Now, the IES consists of modules, as you can see from this photo here. This is an actual line in the US where the customer is producing RTD teas, coffees, and other products as well, which we'll go through in a bit more detail later on. Let's dive into the modules itself. Module 1 here, the first part of the system, consists of what we call a slurry preparation module, where the coffee or tea leaves, or coffee beans and tea leaves, are milled under a blanket of cold water. Now, why do we do this? When you cut something or mill something, you can smell the light volatile desirable notes straight away. That's a loss. We don't want to lose it, we want to capture it. So it is milled under a blanket of cold water. Those volatiles are trapped. It then enters the next module, module 2 in this case, to the spinning cone column, where we strip out those volatiles, condense it and store it, and look after it. The SSC brews the tea or coffee up to 100 degrees Celsius at the same time. This extract then goes to the next module, module 3, goes to a clarification process where it physically separates the extract from the coffee or tea leaf solids. Now, this can then be bottled or canned to produce the premium RTD products, or it can be sent down to the next module, module 4, the concentration step. But remember the unique benefits of the centrothermic evapor with the 1 second heat contact time to produce a concentrate, liquid concentrate, which is of premium quality. Now, what we captured up front from the spinning cone column is the aroma, aqueous aroma. That is then added back to the RTD beverage or the concentrate to have the original aroma added back to the premium product. The IES benefits lies in its ability to recover diverse aroma profiles from slurry, enabling producers to tailor the final product to meet the specific consumer preferences. Unlike traditional methods, the IES eliminates the loss of aroma during the clarification process, preserving the richness of the tea or coffee essence. The IES ensures the retention of desirable characteristics from slurries. This technology enables producers to maintain the distinct flavor notes that make the beverages stand out in a competitive market. The system excels in removing undesirable heavy notes, contributing to a cleaner and more refined taste in the final RTD product.
So really what we're saying is that with the use of the IES, we can capture the very best natural aromas early on directly from the raw material, making a very distinctive product. Because not only that, we can tailor those aromas depending on the different markets or categories that the manufacturer or producer wants to get into, whether it be different countries or just different market segments in its own country.
That's correct. The consumer does want have got different flavor profiles that they like. The manufacturer can tailor make, as you said, those profiles, the aroma profiles, to suit the consumer.
Fantastic. Thanks, Paul. So I just have a slide here. Over the years, we have done a lot of work with ready-to-drink tea manufacturers, and you know, a lot of that work has been analysed. With the IES, as was illustrated by Paul just a couple of slides ago with the 4 modules, in a straight line, we've been able to extract almost 85% of the soluble solids from the tea in that straight line. You know, we also did some further research where we found that by having a counter-current washing module in between, we were capturing almost all the available soluble solids in the tea. Now that was a particular black tea, but of course it will vary from tea to tea, and here we've used an example of 30% extractable solids. But as we all know, the amount of soluble solids in tea can range anywhere from about 25 up to, the mid 40s. So it really depends on the tea. But what this sort of illustrates is that, for money in your pocket as a manufacturer, the extraction efficiency of the IES is fantastic. But more importantly, you're capturing the natural aroma directly from that tea leaf. You're not just brewing it and letting that aroma escape into the factory and into the atmosphere. You're capturing it. You can tailor it to capture different aroma profiles and meet your consumer taste preferences. So what we've seen time after time is our customers grow because they're making distinctive products with that full flavor profile from the raw material. We have some of our customers' products on the screen at the moment, and you can see that some of our customers actually mention it on their product, what type of coffee it is. And I can tell you, I've tasted all of these products, and really you can taste that that's coffee from Ethiopia, and you can taste that that's a Guatemalan cold brew. Those fruity notes come out. It is fantastic. And even with the teas, it's not just a matter of processing a black tea. You can tell whether that tea is from Darjeeling or from Assam or from anywhere else. The distinctive properties of the tea and the single estate flavors are retained. And when it comes to coffee, those single origin flavors really make such an impact on that final product. And once the consumers find out about it, they stick to it and make it a market-leading product. So I always find it interesting with RTD products around the world, Paul, and I'm always picking them up from the 7-Eleven or from a vending machine and testing them when I see something new. But tell us a little bit more about how the IES is used in the soluble coffee industry.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Leon, again. Now, the RTD beverages, you're right. I've tried them as well. They're beautiful. People out there should try them if you haven't already. But let's jump into the soluble coffee approach using the IES. Soluble coffee production hasn't changed much, if at all, in the last century. Now, it's been improved in terms of volume and automation, but that's really about all. What this picture or this slide shows you is how, let's just concentrate on how the soluble coffee is made, starting off with the roasting process. This picture shows you the fumes. You can see down here, these yellow fumes. They represent a loss of aroma. Let's start off with the roasting process where those lovely RNG roasting ground flavors are generated. Then it goes to the grinding process, the grinding process, and then it goes on to the extraction high temperature process where hydrolysis happens, the solids are solubilized, and the extract is formed. It goes then to the evaporation process, where another temperature process where a lot of the aroma is lost as well, and then goes through the drying process where a lot of the volatiles are lost further. So as you can see from this process, a lot of the desirable notes are lost, and if you can go to the end product, the powder, you can imagine, you can probably taste it already, that a lot of the flavors are lost through the whole process. We're saying don't lose it, capture it as much as possible. So what the coffee companies have done is they've introduced a aroma capture device post extraction cell. Traditional coffee lines have got a traditional aroma capture devices, but these have been replaced with the spinning cone column. As Leon has mentioned before, the spinning cone column is the gold standard when it comes to aroma capture. So the spinning cone column has replaced the systems post the extraction cell. As you can see from this slide, the SEC is placed post the extraction cell and before the evaporation and spray drying. As I mentioned before, the evaporation process removes a lot of the desirable notes that are left in the extract, whatever's left in the extract. Now the SEC captures those notes in the extract and is placed back before the spray drying process, as well as removing some of the undesirable heavy notes. This allows a soluble coffee or the powder at the end to have the original notes post extraction to be placed back in.
So Paul, you mentioned spray drying. Can this also be used in the freeze drying process?
It sure can. It is used also in the freeze drying process where the aroma from the extract is then captured and then placed back before the drying in terms of freeze drying or spray drying.
Thanks.
But the customers have come back to us and said, how do we capture the real roast and ground flavors?
Well, Paul, that's a question that both you and I have faced many times, and really, from our work with the flavour industry over many years, we've discovered that the very best flavours come from processing the raw material. You can't process just an extract and expect the full flavour of coffee to be there because you've changed that roast and ground note that you had. So the best way to capture the freshest flavours are to process the roast and ground coffee beans or the ground beans directly through the spinning cone column. And that's why we developed the IES process. So as you mentioned before and as you illustrated, the IES process for ready to drink is made up of those four main modules. The difference with the IES process for soluble coffee is the installation of the rotating disc column between module 2 and 3. So what occurs is that you first create the slurry in module 1. That slurry is then processed at 100 degrees through module 2, where you capture the desirable aroma compounds that you want by changing the operating parameters. It then goes into the RDC, where you do the solubilization of coffee, and then you clarify the slurry coming out before concentration. That aroma is then added back to that concentrate before the drying stage, as you mentioned. So you can see how compact the IES would be with a rotating disc column, which is about the same size as that spinning cone column. You don't need a 3 or 4 story building, so your infrastructure costs are quite low, and it's a very streamlined process that can be operated by 1 or 2 people, where it's a continuous processing line producing a variety of products very easily and simply. So as mentioned previously, the rotating disc column is a continuous contacting device for solid and liquid interactions where we can control the temperature, up to 190 degrees, and the pressure of the system. And it's very, very quick. It only takes 20 minutes to do the solubilization. And it's because the rotating disc column is a stirred system. It's not a static cell. We're also milling to a smaller size that is providing some advantages and allowing the extraction to take place a lot faster. But that's not the important part. The important part is that you are suddenly doing the extraction after aroma recovery. So you're capturing the best aroma from the roast and ground beans and then doing the high temperature extraction, which normally damages the flavors. So we've reversed the process that is found in traditional soluble coffee process.
That's a real advantage, Mr. Leon. I must agree with you. You do capture those real desirable roast and ground flavors up front compared to other traditional processes.
Correct, and we've seen this various times now where the single origin flavors are retained in the final powdered product, whether it be freeze dried or spray dried, and that's the aha moment our customers have when they utilize the IES process. So just to go through a simple schematic and show it a little bit more simply, the roasted coffee beans go to our slurry preparation step where we mill them under that blanket of water, as Paul mentioned, to create a slurry. That slurry then goes to the spinning cone column, and in less than 30 seconds, not only are we capturing desirable aroma by being able to manipulate different operating parameters, but we're also doing the brewing of the coffee at 100 degrees. That slurry then goes through a decanter to create that extract. Now, and we call it extract 1 or our low temperature extract. If you add flavor to that, hey presto, you can be producing ready to drink products and taking them to market by going straight to a bottling line from there and adding, your sugars or other products that you'd like to make a ready to drink product. However, if you want to produce soluble coffee, those coffee grounds that have come off the decanter in the first line are reconstituted with water to produce a new slurry, which then goes through the rotating disc column and at temperatures of up to 190 degrees, and in only 20 minutes, a high temperature extract is produced. That slurry coming out of the rotating disc column goes through the decanter, the coffee grounds can be discarded, and that extract too is what then moves on to the next step. That next step is combining extract 1 with extract 2, putting it through another clarification step to remove the oils and any fines before being concentrated. The flavour can then be added back to the concentrate just before the drying step to produce a high quality soluble coffee with those full flavoured single origin roast and ground notes intact, making it an exceptional product to meet consumer demands.
Now the systems are available in 2 different sizes. Here we have examples. The one on the right is a customer in Japan where they're producing RTD coffee. It shows you that there's minimal space, but we're able to engineer and design a system to suit the customer space requirements. The one on the left is a US customer where they're running in parallel production of RTD, tea and coffee, as well as soluble coffee as well. Now the systems can be operated at lower feed volumes, allowing the customers to start slowly and meet growing demands in the future. So let's recap the benefits of the IS. It is a continuous and automated process. Leon has shown you how compact the size is. There's 2 different sizes. We're able to design and engineer systems to your space requirements. It can be used for the production of soluble as well as RTD and cold brew products, allowing a flexibility of operation. Now, continuing with the IS benefits, the capability of the SCCs are able to produce various aroma profiles to meet the consumer demands. The other advantage is that the short startup and shutdown times. Now, for example, if you're operating 5 days, you can start up very, very quickly and operate those 5 days and shut down as well. So it allows you the flexibility in operational days. The other thing is that everything has to work seamlessly and has to be cleaned in place as well. So each module has a CIP built in to allow the modules to be cleaned separately as well.
So Paul, I'd just like to mention something on point 1 there. What I've seen some of our customers do is very easily be able to produce final powdered products with different aroma profiles that they then take to their customers and say, which one do you like? Previously, they didn't have that flexibility. It wasn't that easy to produce different aroma profiles and products, final powder products with those different aroma profiles. But with the IES, it's very simple. It's consistency as well in terms of the aroma profiles from particular coffees. And in fact, it changes the value proposition of manufacturers to their customers by saying, which one of these products do you like, rather than do you like this one product that I'm providing to you. And that's allowing our customers to grow, and we see that all the time.
Now, really is an advantage for the manufacturer. The IS becomes a one-stop shop where it allows you to produce a whole variety of different products from the one system. You can produce cold brew coffee, cold brew tea, ready to drink coffee and tea, instant coffee and tea as well. And what's there for the future? Small footprint. It is continuous and automated with a variety of operating parameters to allow a range of products to be produced. As Leon said, the manufacturer can produce a variety of products and take it to the market and say, which one of these do you like, which is new for them.
So thank you, Paul. On the IS, talking about the IS benefits, I'm sure some of our customers would probably say there's a lot more benefits to the IS than what we've just mentioned there. And of course, for me, key is the fact that we can capture different aroma profiles easily, but we capture aroma profiles that are true to the raw material, that help differentiate the product and help make products market leaders, meeting consumer demands. Well, viewers, thank you for your time today watching our webinar, and we've
Hold on, Mr. Leon. There's a couple of questions that the viewers have asked. I'm sure they'll want to know the answers as well. The first question, before we go, is if they are interested in seeing this system or want to run a trial, where can they go?
That's a good question, Paul. As mentioned earlier, Flavourtech has facilities all around the world where we have our pilot plant or demonstration plants. Griffith here in Australia, where our head office is, of course, has the original pilot plant facility, a picture that you can see there, which has all of our technologies, and we can run individual trials on one piece of equipment or all of them, depending on what the customer request is. Of course, we're also in the Netherlands, in Wageningen, where we have various pieces of our equipment for trials by our customers. And of course, we do have a facility in Kansas City, in Missouri, in the US. For me, it's critical that customers really understand the difference. And I call this the aha moment. And I've seen it time and time again. We welcome customers to bring their products and come along with their products to process them through our systems and really understand the difference that Flavourtech technologies can make to their product.
Yeah, thank you for that answer. It's really nice to know all these places where customers can go to trial and have a look at the system. But there is another question that has come up. Is you mentioned before about the small footprint of the IES. Some of the systems that you've seen are multi-story, quite large. Can you show us a bit more detail about the size of the IES?
Sure. As you mentioned, Paul, the IES does come in two different sizes and, of course, different capacities. Our smaller system, the IES 25, as we call it, uses our medium-sized spinning cone column. And what I failed to mention earlier is that we do make the spinning cone column in three different sizes. An SEC 100 that can process up to 100 litres per hour. The SEC 1000, again, can process a nominal volume of 1,000 litres per hour. And the SEC 10,000. Now, the IES 25 uses the SEC 1000 and it can process up to 700 kilograms per hour of slurry. Now this can be up to a 10% by weight of tea slurry or up to a 20% coffee slurry. So the spinning cone column with the slurry preparation unit can be found on the left hand side here. From there the slurry would go through a decanter. Here we've illustrated it with a centrifuge and also a membrane system before that extract goes to our centrotherm evaporator. And of course, as mentioned earlier, the centrotherm evaporator can be manufactured and supplied in various sizes depending on the capacity requirements. In this particular schematic, we've also got the tanks that are required to run an IES 25, and you can see that the whole space that is required is 16 meters in length by 6 meters in width and 4 meters in height. So it is a very compact system, and in fact this can be brought closer together. We've illustrated it with space to allow forklifts to get in between the equipment, but it can be a lot more compact in size. The other size we have is the larger IES 250, where we utilize the SEC 10,000, allowing our customers to process up to 5,000 kilograms of slurry. Now, this can be a 10% tea slurry or up to a 20% coffee slurry. So the slurry preparation unit and the spinning cone column would capture the aroma. That slurry would then go to a decanter in this particular schematic. That extract can then go to a centrifuge or membrane for further clarification before the extract goes to the centrotherm evaporator to be concentrated. So you end up with an aroma and a concentrate, and you can blend them back together immediately before going to a drying step or utilize them as separate products and sell them as separate products.
Thanks, Leon. Before you lose your voice there, because your voice is getting a bit hoarse, but
thank you, Paul.
There's a couple of more questions that's come through. Now, can the IES be used other than for tea or for coffee?
Yes, of course. We do have various customers that do contract work where they're producing tea and coffee products, but of course can also process fruit flavors and fruit purees. In fact, we have one customer that takes waste raw material, banana peels, watermelons, ripened fruit, and is able to make natural aromas with those products through the spinning cone column, using the decanters to separate the slurry, and processing extracts if they wish, but more importantly, capturing natural aromas from other raw materials such as fruit products. The IES also allows it to be utilized not just as a straight line system, but can be broken down in its separate components. So you could be processing something on the SEC while you're concentrating something else on the centrotherm evaporator downstream, and keeping those two product lines quite separate.
Very versatile. Thank you so much. Last question is, when you go through those processes, you're running, say, fruits or teas or coffees, what's involved? What do you have to do to change from one product to the other product?
Well, that's a good question. A lot of technologies out there make it very difficult to change from product to product. With the IS or with our technologies, it basically involves a CIP. So between a product such as coffee and, say, fruit, you would probably do a 3-hour CIP of the system, and then process that next product. Of course, if you're going from one coffee product to another coffee product where the differences are minimal, because it's a continuous system, all you have to do is wait until the coffee is finished in the mill, gone through the spinning cone column. That doesn't take very long at all. Do a liquid rinse of maybe 15 to 30 minutes and be able to process the next coffee through the system. Of course, you'll need further tanks to make sure that those extracts and those aromas aren't mixed together, but really going from one coffee blend to another coffee blend becomes a very quick process.
Nice one indeed. As you said, a lot of our contract customers are already doing this, and they're already doing this very, very well. Oh, out of time.
Well, wait a minute, Paul. I can see one question for you there, and that involves the Aquaporin forward osmosis system. You mentioned that it can actually concentrate essences. The questions come through, what concentration levels can it go up to?
Yeah, the forward osmosis system really depends on the application, what the product is being fed into it. Now, we've been able to achieve about 10 to 20 times concentration for aqueous aroma. That is for coffee, tea, or fruit or vegetable aroma. We're able to concentrate that to about up to 20 times concentration. However, for say cold brew coffee extract concentration, we're able to achieve about up to 10 times concentration. It is application dependent, so please contact us when it comes to finding out what the concentration level will be like.
Okay, well, thank you for that, and we'll leave it there. There are a few more questions, but we'll answer them directly to the people that have asked them. We do have those details. If you want to know more information, please go to our website at www.flavourtech.com.
Sorry, what was that again?
www.flavourtech.com. Thank you very much, Paul. There's a lot of information there. Our equipment is on there, so you can find out more about our technologies. You can find out more about our applications. There are examples there. There's also a couple of webinars there if you want to find out and listen and see some more slideshows. But there is a lot of information. But also, you can send your inquiry directly through to us, and we'll make sure that we'll get back to you wherever you are in the world. And that reminds me, we are all over the world, not just in sales and service, but we do have technical assessment packages where our engineers will come and go through your process to see where improvements can be made. And there's also the total care packages that we have, which are our full maintenance packages where, supply of spare parts, labor, all the travel expenses are included, and it's almost like an insurance package to give you peace of mind that everything's being looked after by the people that manufactured the system, and to make sure that you maximize uptime and get the very best out of the technologies. Thank you again, viewers, for tuning in today. As mentioned, if you have questions, send them through, and we bid you a good day from down under.
Bye.
for now.
Bye for now.